Good morning. So, good morning, friends, and welcome to the seventh session in the Becoming a Trailblazing Leader uh, program. And today's topic is very interesting, very powerful. It is sharpening the X. And, a while back we were talking about what's the best investment. And I would like to ask you to please unmute and share, what is the best investment a person can make. Uh, So if you can unmute or type in the chat, what is the best investment a person can make?
Ashish, in ourself, in our development.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And Ashiji, if you see my WhatsApp tagline, it is invest, invest, invest some time in yourself every day.
Beautiful, beautiful, Manojji. So I know this is a very evolved group and not surprising that this answers we are getting. The reason the investment in ourselves is the best investment is because it offers the highest return. When it comes to returns, we think in terms of 10, 20%, 100%, 1000%. But the investment that we do in ourselves is, infinitely more powerful. And that is what is our session today is about, investing in ourselves. And I think all of us today who are there in this session already believe in this philosophy. What we're going to discuss is a framework on how to go about investing in ourselves. And but before we dive into our session today, a brief recap on what we covered last time in ego identification, or even before that in compassionate leadership, or emotional intelligence, or time management, anything, or from the previous sessions, anything that comes up for you, a quick recap, any success, any challenges that you're facing or have faced with what we have discussed in this BTL program or the SLP program. One quick 1 minute share, and then we will move. And yeah, Manoj.
Yeah, so with regard to the time management, Ashish, I think I would say it's working for me. The guidance which you have given me that while we most of the time we procrastinate and not able to take time to a lot of activities, but after our sessions on the time management, I think the 2 minute magic is working for me. So I have been procrastinating to start reading books for quite a long time, and over the last 1 week, I have at least reading at least 4 to 5 pages to start with, and ensuring to complete that. So that's good thing happening with me.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that, Manoj. And while we are waiting to hear from others, I would like to remind that our session next Sunday will be the last session in the BTL series, and then we take a break of a month and we resume with our session on 6th of July with magical success rituals. And this 1 month period you can use to review any of the recordings. You can just email to Vaishnavi and she will be happy to share recording of any session, whether it's LSD, Stress to Smile, Psychology of Success, or BTL, any session. You can email to her and she will share the recording and you can review that and we will get started. So, Anjana, you want to share something? Okay. Rosina, Manojji, anything that comes up for you?
No, the time management, Johari window, I'm practicing it.
Okay.
And not only me, I'm working with my team also, and that is really creating excitement in the team, I see.
Very nice. Very nice. One more check, which we will also put in the group later, is if it is okay for us to move our sessions to Thursday 8 p.m. rather than Sunday 8:45 p.m. So if everybody agrees to it, and only if everybody agrees to it, we will change the time. Otherwise, we'll continue as it is. So on that note, we move forward with the story of a woodcutter who was chopping wood trees in the forest, and he was dead tired, sweating, the hot day, really tired, but just keeping on chopping the tree. And there is a passerby, who sees him struggling with the work that he is doing, and he says, brother, why don't you take some rest and take some time off to sharpen your axe? You will be able to get better results in quicker time. And this man, tired as he was and irritated as he was with the work that he was doing and the oppressive heat, he shouted back at the person and said, "Can't you see? I have no time to rest. Look at all this forest and all these trees that I need to chop today." And when it comes to woodcutter and when it comes to a story, we can see the irony there. If he takes time off to sharpen his axe, his results will be better. But when it comes to our own lives, we often are like that woodcutter who are so busy in the grind of our daily work that we forget to sharpen our axe. And this is a very lovely quote from Abraham Lincoln, who says that, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe." And this corresponds very well with what we discussed in the time management with about quadrant two, where we discussed that 50 to 70% of the time that top leaders spend is in quadrant two. So if you look at 4 out of 6 hours, it is corresponds to that as well, about 66%. So a lot of people who are very successful at the top are spending significant amount of hours working in the quadrant two, and we will see what that means for us today in the context of sharpening the axe. Before we look at the framework of 4 dimensions in which we need to sharpen our axe, I would like to invite you to respond to this question. And there are no right or wrong answers, but what comes up for you when we talk about what is the most important asset that we have? You can,
Health.
sorry?
Health.
Health. Okay, health is very important. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Rosina. Health, knowledge. Thank you, Manojji. Yeah, experience, very nice. So all of this is very important, and this is part of our ability to earn. I think the most important asset that we have is our resourcefulness and our ability to earn. The knowledge, health, experience all contributes to our ability to earn. And that is what the focus today is going to be. And there is this very nice book written, Becoming a Corporate Athlete, and he talks about the 4 dimensions of peak performance of an athlete and a corporate athlete, which is physical capacity, emotional capacity, mental capacity, and spiritual capacity. And what we're going to, while we're going to explore each one of these in greater detail as we go along, before that, I would like you to do a small exercise. And that exercise involves calculating the amount of money you will earn in the rest of your life. So, assuming just for sake of simplicity, if you're earning a lakh a year, and if you are going to work for next 20 years, your earning is going to be 20 lakhs, your lifetime earning. Or if you're going to be working for 30 years, 30. So what is your lifetime earning from now till rest, till the end of your life? What is the lifetime earning you expect? And if you've got your answers, please type D in the chat box. Hello, Dr. Abhishek. Yeah. And if you're comfortable, then you can share that number that is coming up for you. And for those of you who have got that number, and if you're good at Excel, and if you have got Excel at your command, put an increment of 5% or 10%. and see what that number comes up to. And what is the total that it comes up to? Yeah, Anjana, you're on mute.
Ironically, I was looking at descaling it.
Descaling your earnings. Yeah, let's connect offline, Anjana. So, current earnings, anybody who's comfortable, you can share the numbers, it's not going anywhere. And then applying an increment of 5, 10, 20%, and then see what is your cumulative earning. Hello, Sasha. And please share your numbers or what is coming up for you as a part of this exercise. Anybody would like to share? Five crores excluding tax. Does this include increments, Sasha? Please,
Yes, Ashish. Yeah.
very conservative, Sasha. So, yeah, maybe we can connect offline for some of you to see whether that number is right or not. But in case of Sasha, this is very underrated, I can say. Anybody else? 5 crores is the number that Sasha comes up with for lifetime earnings.
See,
Sorry?
when we look at the power of compounding, right, it has to be much more than that.
That is what. So I'll tell you what I did. I estimated my current earnings to be 25 lakhs for the sake of number. And then I applied it for 20 by growing by 20% year on year for next 22 years. That's the number of years I plan to work. Uh, in 2047, it comes to 13 crores annually. From 25 lakhs a year, it grows to 13 lakhs annually, 13 crores annually. And the cumulative earnings came to something like 89 crores. Okay.
So basically, whatever you look at as a simple total, I think Manojji will be able to just reaffirm it. You can multiply it by 10. The power of compounding.
Yeah, it's very powerful. It's
For
also
10
a
years.
function of number of years, Anjana.
I mean, for 10, okay, I looked
Ah.
at 10 only, so I just
Ah.
multiplied by 10.
So I would really urge you to start paying attention. Now, there is no need for inflation here, Rosina. You can just calculate your earnings. Right now, we are just looking at earnings and what is the expected increment you can have in your earnings, right? And the idea is whether it is 5 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores, or 100 crores, whatever that. In my case, it came to 89 crores cumulative earning. Now, that's a number that we usually do not think of, you know. If in my case, if I look at it, it's about 25 lakhs if I take as the starting number. I'm at 25 lakhs, next year 30 lakhs, then it'll go to 36 lakhs, then it'll go to some 45 lakhs or whatever. But we are not thinking in terms of a crore a month. And that expansion in thinking when it happens, and when we look at the overall earnings that will happen, it starts opening up a different dimension of thinking. And let's understand that by looking at the example of a racehorse. And last time I asked this question, how much a race horse would cost typically to buy. And Anjana came up with a figure of about 1 crore. And I think that's the right number. So if you were to buy a race horse, how would you worth 1 crore? How would you take care of that horse? Who's going to run the race and win, prize for you? Or how would you take care of that horse? Please unmute yourself and put it in the chat. or put in the chat. Unmute yourself. How would you take care of the horse whom you have bought to run in the race?
Giving the best possible to the horse.
And could you describe that a bit, Sasha? What would that look like? The best would look like?
Feeding right meals at the right time, then taking care of the horse, giving it the right kind of exercise, then polishing it,
Okay.
best care, best shelter,
Okay.
and have the best doctor
Yeah,
to take care.
correct. So we talked about food, right food at the right time. We talked about exercise schedule. We talked about polishing, massage, rest. Okay. These are the, would you consider feeding the horse burgers, pizza?
No,
No.
no.
Beer once in a while.
Yes.
Once in a while, beer for a specific reason. But normally we would take very good care of the horse because this horse is going to earn us a lot of money, right? We won't take the health of the horse for granted. Now think of ourselves, and I don't know what's the number that came up for you. If you're comfortable, you can share in the chat. Sasha mentioned 5 crores. It could be some other number for some other people. If you were to earn 5 crores or 89 crores as it came out in my case, how would you take care of your body? Would you still feed it with burgers, pizzas, colas, beer, alcohol, or you would have the same regimen which you just described for the horse?
Ashishji, we would go more and more simpler. The more
More
we
and
earn,
more?
the more we earn, the simpler we eat.
The more we earn, the simpler we eat, right? And it can be cause and effect also. The simpler we eat, the more we earn, so both ways it can work. So how is this landing on you? Most of you are very silent, so I'm not getting any sense whether this is making sense to you or you're with me or.
Yeah, totally with you, Ashish. It's like an eye opener. We are not taking care of our health,
Yeah,
being more valuable
yeah,
than
yeah.
a horse. Yeah.
So,
And
Ashish, it is like the stewing the soup. Like you are slowly making the temperature up and cooking the food.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't live with blinkers.
Yeah. I did this exercise with my wife also, and she also, normally we are looking at annual increments. I'm at this, I'll get this in next year. That is the most people think of. We really don't have a view on our lifetime earnings. And if we have a view that I'm going to earn 100 crores in my life, the way we will look at ourselves and the way we will look at our bodies and the way we will take care of it will be very, very different. So that is, and that is the foundation, like they say, Mooladhara, our body is the foundation of everything that we're going to do. And that takes into account three things, the exercise, the food, and the rest. And that if you're running a horse in a race, you're not going to make him run like throughout the day. You're going to give it adequate rest. Otherwise, the horse is not going to win. But in our own case, we underrate rest, the importance of rest. We won't rest adequately. So what is it that we are going to do in terms of exercise, health, diet, and rest for ourselves? But before I ask you to make a plan for yourself, for your health. Also ponder on this question of how long we are going to live. And please type in the chat or unmute and speak. How long do you think we are going to live?
This is a very ironic question. We only would like, probably we could say how long we want to live. It could be 100 years, 80 years.
But yeah, wanting is one part, but how long, or let me rephrase my question. What is the life expectancy for the people who are on this call?
We
We have
can't
Dr.
gauge.
Abhishek to answer for us.
He's
We
younger.
can't
70 to 85.
85. Okay.
we can't
70
gauge.
to 85.
70 to 85.
No. So if you're looking at the average life expectancy of India today, it's between 79 and 83.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you do take care of yourself, then please look at it as 83 plus.
Yes.
This is statistics.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
Correct.
where we
Statis-
land, I don't know.
Yeah.
Statistics is correct here, Anjana. Yeah, you are
Yeah.
right. About 80 is an average age, which is a disease free, because the mortality rate has gone high,
Hi.
and the medical sciences have increased our age by a lot of vaccinations and medications.
Correct.
So post 80 years, some diseases will start coming and things. If we take care of our health till 80, then yes, 80.
Yes.
Otherwise, if we are not taking care of our health and fitness and the food, then the diseases start early. But on contrary, I would say, to the answer Ashishji's question, we don't know what will be the age. I don't think we can gauge the age at all.
Yeah, I agree with everything that everyone is saying. I just like to share a perspective with you that
Correct.
the people on this call and outside also will possibly live 90, 100 years or even beyond that. Okay. For the reasons Dr. Abhishek mentioned, advancement in medical technology, vaccines, and so many other things. And, we may be at a stage where even if we want to die, the doctors may not let you die. They will just keep supporting you with technology and you keep living. And also with printing of body parts, etc., it's a possibility that we may live forever, so to say. Last time, I think we were talking about it. Anjana mentioned that there is someone who helps you live till 125 by making corrections in your lifestyle, etc. So 100, 125 is becoming a distinct possibility now. And even insurance companies, which earlier used to offer cover till 80 or 100, now have started offering covers lifetime cover. Insurance companies are giving because they are researching this trend, and they're aware that we're going to live longer. So now in the context of these two things, our ability, so just for the benefit of Dhruv, I'll quickly recap what we have done. We have estimated what our lifetime earnings are. And in my own example, Dhruv, it came to 89 crores. So, from now for next 10, 20 years, what is the amount of money we are going to earn? And also the fact that we are going to live till 100 years. So you have 100 crores, but if you don't have health to enjoy that 100 crores, what will you do? Will it be worth it? Now, keeping that view in mind.
Quick question. 89 crores is the
Okay.
total earning potential.
No. So you can do it for yourself, Dhruv. First, take your annual earnings now and then multiply it by the number of years you expect to work more. Say 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. So suppose your earning is 1 crore, you work for 20 years more, it will be 20 crores. Second is you increment that by 5, 10, 20% and see what numbers come and then come to cumulative amount. Okay. I just shared an example where I started with a base of 25 lakhs and I'm planning to work for 22 years more and I grew my earnings by 20%. It comes to a cumulative earning of 89 crores over the next 22 years. So the point we are making is when we look at annual earning of 25, 30, 40 lakhs, we are not thinking of 80, 90 crores. Okay. And we are not thinking of living till 100 years. Now, how do we want to live? Look at this gentleman. And I'm saying this with respect. He started his career with 5,000 rupees capital in 1985, and his net worth was 40,000 crores when he passed away. Okay. And he passed away at a relatively young age of 62 because of multiple health issues. Now, do you want to have 40,000 crores but not live to enjoy that 40,000 crores? Do you want to have 100 crores but not be able to live to enjoy? Those are the kind of things we are talking about. Estimating our income, lifetime, in insurance terms is called the human life value, and then ensuring that we take care of our health to be able to enjoy that good health. So please take 5 minutes to reflect on what is it that you're going to do differently from now for the rest of your life, and you can keep adding to it, but to get started. what is it that you will do to exercise? What is one thing that you will start doing that you were not doing or do more of in terms of exercise? What is it that you're going to do with respect to your diet? And what is one change that you will bring about in terms of your rest? Adequate sleep, digital detox, what is it that you want to do? Rest to your mind, rest to your body. Please prepare a starting note, even if it's not a plan, on how you're going to take care of your physical health, which is the foundation of everything that we experience in this life. And once you are done, you can type D in the chat or you can unmute yourself and share.
So Ashish, while I have consciously noted what I have to take care with regard to my exercise, food, and rest, so just an hypothetical question for the sake of discussion. Rest. Many people say your as an adult 7 to 8 hours must be your proper sleep, right? Now, on the contrary, very great souls like including our Prime Minister, it is said that he sleeps around 4 to 5 hours and is very, very productive the entire day. Uh, Same things have been heard about uh, the yogi uh, Isha Foundation.
Sadhguru.
Sadhguru ji, yeah, Sadhguru. He also says he sleeps hardly 4 hours. So, Abhishek, you can also add as a doctor, how does that such a huge variation, right? Some 4 hours to 8 hours. What's a good rest period for an adult?
Dr. Abhishek, you want to go first?
Yeah. So yeah, just to add what Manoj asked is basically, more than hours of sleep, it is the depth of sleep which is important. Medically is also proved and spiritually also said. The best time it is said for sleep is between 10 to 2. If you sleep from 10 to 2, that makes 4 hours. You are sleeping equivalent to 8 hours. If you are sleeping from 2 to 4 in the morning or 2 to 5, I'm just breaking the sleep cycle. 2 to 5, it is considered that you are sleeping only 6 hours. And if you're sleeping 4 to 8 in the morning, 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning, it is considered you're sleeping only for 3 to 4 hours. I'm talking about depth of the sleep. So the best time to sleep is from 10 onwards till 2. If you sleep, you have already covered 6 to 8 hours of sleep, which is actually required for the replenishment of your body, rest to the organs, proper digestion, and multiple other, enzymatic metabolic activities happening in the body. So that is the pattern medically said, or even spiritually said. 10 onwards, and you can take it to 2, you can take it to 4. Wake up in Brahma Muhurat time 4:35 onwards. If you do it this way, I'm also trying to practice it. Not exactly there, but this is the pattern medically proved and spiritually proved.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Abhishek. What I would like to add to that is, Manoj, let your body guide you. Okay. But what I would recommend is a regularity in pattern. So say start sleeping by 10 and then wake up when your body is well rested. Body knows best. Okay. So if 8 works for you, go for 8. If 7, 6, 4, whatever works for you. And the other thing I would like to suggest is afternoon nap. 10, 15, 20 minutes. That is also considered very good for sleep. Power nap.
That's a luxury.
Afternoon naps are luxury. You are right, Manoj. Yes.
So many offices have started making those pods, where you can go and take a nap.
Going
Yeah,
on weekends.
That
yeah,
all
on
IT
weekends.
guys, IT
All
guys,
IT,
IT guys.
yeah. So it depends on whether you can afford that or not. But this is on sleep and rest.
So
Have
just
you?
just I posted a photo with Sadhguru in our group. This one, incidentally, I met him few times. I'm with Isha Foundation, Manoj, by the way.
okay.
Yeah, so I could meet him now. Now it is difficult, but yes, in my past some volunteering activity, it was opportunity for me to meet him.
Very nice. Very
Mm.
nice. Fine. So, anything came up for anyone? Anyone would like to share? What
I
is
mean,
one change? Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
there are multiple things, aspects like if you say sleep, you know, uh, sleeping early and waking early, which I was also mentioning, the crux of it. I think that is one thing which will have a longevity of life and more better health, mental and physical both. Exercise, I would say at least 3 times, 1 hour each day, 3 times a week, minimum. I'm saying that much should be done for a better health. I mean, we can go into intricacies and how much cardio should be done, how much muscle training should be done, and things like that. Food, I would say, sleep and exercise I spoke about. Third aspect of food, if you say very, very important aspect, is the timely food. You don't eat any time. You eat when you are regulating a body pattern in a day. So eat on those specific times only in a day, because enzymes are secreted in spite of you not eating that time. They're still secreted because your body clock is adjusted that way. And I would strongly recommend to have a pure vegetarian diet. So if you are having a pure vegetarian diet and a timely one, yes, you are on a process of having a good health. And this is sleep, exercise, food. This is bodily related. This is something related to our physical body. But yes, for mental health, spirituality, there are different forms of spirituality. Um, any form of spirituality should be done, and it should be made part of life.
Yes, we will cover that,
Yeah.
Dr. Abhishek,
And the
as
last
you were
one,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, sure. And the last one is giving back to society. You call it charity, you call it whatever you call it. So that is for the ultimate satisfaction. So you
Sure.
cover body, you cover mind, and you cover something which you want to give back to the society. And
Correct.
I think these, according to me, they are like 360-degree coverage.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Anybody else? Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, Ashish, actually, there are certain different school of thought which also says that you need to eat food when you're hungry. So many people tend to have those timely foods, breakfast, lunch, dinner, at a specific time, and they insist to do that. But there are also, it is said that your body says when you're hungry and you should have the food at that time.
So, as regards food, Manoj, there are as many views as there are people. But what personally I find very effective, and I'm going by what um, is intermittent fasting. So, eating within a window of say 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., whatever works for you. And second is what you said, eating when you are hungry. So both these things, to my mind, are very effective. And you can also look at follow Rao sir, who's part of Mindful Living community on any challenge you may have regarding food, or check out Manthina Satyanarayan Raju Nature Cure Center in Vijayawada. They are also very good and very effective. They have very good recommendations on how one should eat and what to eat, when to eat, etc.
One thing I would like to add here is that, even Sadhguru says, Manojji will agree with me, your food intake depends upon how much mental and physical activity you are doing. So it is not one rule fits all. So if you are a laborer or if you are having a more physical activity or mental activity, accordingly, your intake of food varies. So there is no one rule fitting all. So you have to know your body yourself. You have to be a doctor of your own body. And once you know your body, how much is the need, that much one should have. Even Sadhguru says that. I've heard that.
Right. And to add to that, you rightly said that. So 50 to 60% of our food should be either vegetable or fruits.
Very right.
Because that will bring flexibility and agility in the body.
Very right.
Good. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share what is one thing that you will start doing differently from today in terms of exercise, diet, or rest that will support your enjoying the life to the fullest? Start doing differently or do more of? Or stop doing. It could even be stop doing. Sasha, anything you would like to share? Sasha has got the healthiest routine, I think.
No, not at all, Ashish.
Huh?
Just that, okay, I do have meals when I'm hungry, and that's also on a fixed time.
Yeah.
And I do my exercise 3-4 times a week.
Yeah. So just for benefit of everybody, Sasha has only 2 meals in a day and doesn't drink tea or coffee, no alcohol, exercises. So to my mind, he's the healthiest, from my interactions, basis my interactions with people around us, and he plays cricket and so many other things. So friends, the point is, our physical, our body is the foundation, and we're going to live very long. And we are going to live longer than we think, and we're going to earn more than we think. Okay, so our body should be in peak performance state. That is the point.
Ashiji, your
Yes.
question which you had asked, that how much life we have.
Yeah,
I've not got an answer from you. I mean, what is your thought about it?
I mentioned 90 people in this call, otherwise also 90, 100 years or even beyond that.
Okay, you are suggesting that if we are doing lifestyle changes, we will reach
Even
that.
if we don't, doctors will not let you die.
That is true. That is true. But still, then again, there is still some other powers to it. In spite of you having a healthy lifestyle, isn't there destiny? There is a limit to your destiny.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
isn't that part to it?
Yeah. So see, for each one, it will vary. I'm saying whole as a group, we are going to live longer than what we are thinking. Most people think that we are going to live 60, 70, 80, 85 years. All I'm trying to say is we are going to live longer than we think. And we are going to earn more than what we think. And is our body prepared for that? Now, if you today realize that I could possibly live till 100 years and you are maybe 50 or 40, are you going to make changes to your body so that it can sustain itself? Or are you going to drink yourself silly? Or are you going to eat yourself silly? Who's going to take care of you? Are you going to be in an old age home? Or are you going to be dependent on your children? Will you have a home care attendant? Who is going to look at? So many people don't think about that. We think that we take our health for granted and we live life, thinking that जो मेरी आज की health है ऐसे ही चलेगी. ऐसा नहीं होगा. Unless you do something about this. That's the point we are making, Dr. Abhishek. I
Okay,
understand
understood.
it can be different for different people.
Yes,
Yeah, of
I
course it
understood.
is.
Let's continue with the school of thought which you are mentioning.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, the other thing, we come to the second part for peak performance, which is emotional intelligence. So we are not going to go deep into it, but there are one or two aspects because we've already covered emotional intelligence quite in detail. But there are one or two things I would like to share again with reference to the racehorse example. If nobody wins all the races, no cricketer wins all the matches, no team wins all the matches. What happens when we lose? So if this racehorse loses a race and the whole day the owner is telling the horse, you are dumb, you are stupid, you don't run fast enough, you are like this, you are like that, what state of mind will the horse be in, and will he be able to win the next race? Now, when it comes to the horse, it's very obvious that we shouldn't be beating down the horse emotionally by talking negative to it. But when it comes to ourselves, we are not conscious of how negatively we are talking, right, to ourselves. What is our negative chatter about ourselves and about other people around us? you're not good enough, I'm not good enough, you know. Am I not good enough, or you're not good enough? So what is the state of mind in which we are operating, or what is the emotional state, or what is the state of being that we are in? This state of being came as a big realization for me in 2020 when I was attending a program with Rohan Singhal, where he talked about this concept, and it struck me like a bolt. Um and that gave me the answer why, in spite of my working harder and harder, I was not getting results, because my mindset or my emotional state of being was not very good. And when you're not in a good emotional state of being, it negates all the actions that you're taking. People often say तुमको ज्यादा सक्सेस चाहिए तो ज्यादा मेहनत करो. We don't say कि ज्यादा मेहनत चाहिए तो अच्छे मन से काम करो. And the emotional state of being can be understood by looking and thinking of a मिट्टी का गमला जिसमें मिट्टी है. तो अगर वो मिट्टी में आप फर्टिलाइजर डालोगे तो बीज अच्छा उपजेगा. बट अगर वो मिट्टी में आपने कड़ी है, या उपजाऊ नहीं है, या उसमें फर्टिलाइजर नहीं है, या उसमें आपने एसिड डाल रखा है, तो आप जितने भी बीज डालोगे वो ग्रो नहीं करने वाले. So the actions, we are very action oriented. We are not so much focused on our emotional state of being. अगर हम एक्शन करते रहेंगे, बीज डालते रहेंगे, उसका रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा अगर जमीन ही बंजर है तो इसलिए हमको इमोशनली बहुत अपना ध्यान रखना है. What state of being are we in, and how it is. We may be rich materially, but are we rich emotionally? How satisfied we are, how contented we are, how fulfilled we are, what is the quality of relationships we have in our life. That is what emotional fulfillment and emotional intelligence is about. And when we have a good state of being, then the results that we produce are very nice. And the second thing that we dealt a bit about that in our emotional intelligence session, but I'll talk a little bit more, is the emotional bank account. How are we investing in our relationships? And there is a book, Happy Money by Ken Honda. And Ken Honda is one of the top 5 best-selling authors in Japan. And he wrote this book after researching with over $12,000 millionaires in Japan. And this is all about money. But what struck me the most about that book was, towards the end, he says, the real wealth is your relationships. क्योंकि अगर आपके रिलेशनशिप सही होंगे, अगर आपकी पूरी वेल्थ भी उड़ जाती है, तो आप अपने रिलेशनशिप्स के बेसिस पे दोबारा अपने पैर पे खड़े हो सकते हो. बट अगर रिलेशनशिप्स नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं होगा. पैसा से कुछ हेल्प नहीं होगा. इफ यू हैव मनी, आई नो CEOs who live in 100 crore homes, but they don't have their family with them. So how it's not going to be emotionally fulfilling living alone with nobody to share your happiness, sadness. So investing in relationships is very, very important. And when it comes to emotional bank account, it is much like the bank account that we have in our savings account in the banks that we have. अगर मेरा HDFC में अकाउंट है जिसमें INR में ही डिपॉजिट होता है, तो कोई दिरहम में डिपॉजिट करेगा तो वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा, या डॉलर्स में करेगा तो नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेगा, ये येन में करे. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि वो जिस बंदे को जो चीज पसंद है, आप वो ही करने से उसको इम्पैक्ट होगा. उसको पसंद कुछ और है, आप कर रहे हो कुछ और, फिर आप सोच रहे हो मैं तो इस बंदे के लिए इतना कर रहा हूँ, ये तो कुछ खुशी नहीं हो रहा, तो कुछ फायदा नहीं है. सो दिस रिक्वायर्स सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट द करेंसी फॉर दैट पर्सन इज. उसको पसंद क्या है, आप वो करो जो उसको पसंद है. And this is not from a sense of manipulation, but it's just taking time to understand the people you're working with, कि उनको क्या अच्छा लगता है. And when you understand that this is what that person likes and you do it, even the smallest of things will contribute big time. And otherwise you could be doing anything and it will not cut any ice with people. And similarly withdrawal, अगर आपने कुछ किया जो छोटी सी भी चीज की उनको पसंद नहीं है तो वो बहुत विड्रॉल होता है. सो थिंग्स लाइक नॉट कीपिंग ए प्रॉमिस. थिंक अबाउट your children. You promise them that you will take them on a somewhere on a weekend for a movie or for a drive, but आपने नहीं किया. आपके लिए तो छोटी सी चीज है, काम आ गया, मैंने नहीं किया, बट वो बच्चे के लिए इतना मैसिव विड्रॉल होता है ना, उसका पूरा बहुत बड़ा ट्रस्ट इशू हो जाता है. तो आपके लिए छोटी सी चीज है, उसके लिए बहुत बड़ी चीज है. So what are the deposits and withdrawals that we make for people? And this is the most powerful thing that we can do in terms of our success at workplace. I once met a CEO of a very large top 10 life insurance company, and he was telling me about his work. मेरे को सबसे पहले रेगुलेटर को देखना पड़ता है, अपने बोर्ड को देखना पड़ता है. वो उनका इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का जॉइंट वेंचर था, तो इस कंपनी के बोर्ड मेंबर्स, इस कंपनी के बोर्ड मेंबर्स, उनको देखना पड़ता है. और कुछ स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, वो उनके बारे में बता रहे थे, इनको देखना पड़ता है. एंड उसके उन्होंने जो टॉप 10 थिंग्स दिखाई, ब्यूरोक्रेट से डील करना पड़ता है, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री के वगैरह वगैरह. Top 10 things that he does, which he made counted for me. The doing the work was not there in that. काम का कोई जिक्र ही नहीं था उसमें, खाली रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट, इस बोर्ड के साथ, उस बोर्ड के साथ, इस गवर्नमेंट के साथ, इसके साथ, रेगुलेटरी के साथ, उसके साथ. That is all he does. Now you may say he's at a CEO level, that's why it's there. But the point we need to understand is how much time. चलो वो CEO है, वो काम का ध्यान नहीं रख रहा, बट आपके 10 घंटे के काम में आप कितना समय अपने रिलेशनशिप्स में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो? 1 घंटा, 2 घंटा, या बिल्कुल नहीं, जीरो. एंड दैट इज ऑल ही डज. बोला काम तो अपने आप हो जाता है.
बोला तुम्हारा तुम्हारा पार्सल है, बोले तुम्हारे पार्सल नीचे पर.
But for many of us, we are, and there are so many people who come to me for coaching. They are so focused on their work कि उनको relationships के ऊपर invest करने का time ही नहीं होता. मैं CXO level people, I ask him कितना % आप time में देते हो? 90%, 95%, just focusing on driving outputs, not focusing on building relationship. फिर अटक ही जाएंगे, वो पक्की बात है. 100% कहीं ना कहीं अटकेंगे अगर आपने relationships के ऊपर invest नहीं किया है, अपने peers में, अपने सीनियर्स में, अपने जूनियर्स में. So investing in relationships at your workplace, in your life also. अगर आपने आप करियर में आगे बढ़ते जा रहे हो बट आपने अपने स्पाउस का ध्यान नहीं रखा, तो कहीं ना कहीं डंडा लग ही जाएगा आपको. यू विल ट्रिप ओवर. पैर फंस जाता है ना, पैर अटका देते हैं, वैसे पैर अटकाते हैं. या इन लॉस का ध्यान नहीं रखा आपने, या किसी और का ध्यान नहीं. सो हाउ आर यू इन्वेस्टिंग इन योर स्टेक होल्डर्स? आपके कौन से स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं जो आपके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है? प्लीज take time now. We're just getting into an exercise. Take 5 minutes to identify 5 most important stakeholders in your life, चाहे वो पर्सनल हो या प्रोफेशनल हो. And then reflect on what is the deposit that you can make for them. या आपने किया है पिछले 30 दिन में, या आप अगले 30 दिन में कर सकते हो उनके लिए. Now, like for my wife, it's as small as me gifting her with a flower. उस ज्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए, बट एक फ्लावर उसको ला के दिया तो वो बहुत खुश हो जाती है उससे. और इफ वी गो आउट फॉर ए डिनर, सो इट इज नॉट लाइक मैसिव बाइंग गोल्ड और ज्वेलरी और दैट, वो तो अलग बात है. बट छोटी छोटी चीजें आप क्या कर सकते हो, विच ओनली रिक्वायर थॉटफुलनेस, विच डज नॉट रिक्वायर मैसिव रिसोर्सेज. दैट्स द पॉइंट. तो आप अपने 5 स्टेक होल्डर्स आइडेंटिफाई करिए वर्क प्लेस पे या पर्सनल लाइफ में, और पिछले 30 दिन में आपने उनका कोई इमोशनल डिपॉजिट किया है क्या, या अगले 30 दिन में आप क्या इमोशनल डिपॉजिट करोगे? इज इट बाइंग देम फ्लावर्स, बाइंग देम ड्रेस, टेकिंग देम आउट फॉर डिनर, बाइंग देम ए बुक, और जस्ट शोइंग अप फॉर देम व्हेन दे नीड यू, गिविंग देम अनडिवाइडेड अटेंशन, टेकिंग देम फॉर ए ड्राइव? क्या उनको पसंद है? थिंक अबाउट दैट.
Wonderful, Ashish. So, on a lighter note, मतलब वो फूल रोज देते हैं once in a while.
भाई ये मत पूछो, ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है.
I think Manoj also meant it as a play on words.
I wanted to implement that. That's the reason I asked it.
नहीं रोज एज इन डेली ना जो भी देते हो
ज्यादा
डेली देना है
अच्छा अच्छा ओके
Something
रोज
like this.
रोज
Disagree on
रोज नहीं
that. रोज करेंगे तो उसकी वैल्यू गई.
हाँ.
Then the expectation is कि वो आज एक दिया कल दो देंगे. एक महीने बाद बोलेंगे do something different.
Yeah. You need to take care of all of that. Right? Same thing. जो आज डिपॉजिट है कल विड्रॉल भी हो सकता है. So it needs to be a very good point by Dhruv. सोच समझ के जो relevant है उनके लिए वो करिए. If you want to take them out for dinner, don't take them for a cuisine you like. उनको जो cuisine पसंद है उसके लिए लेके जाओ. ये नहीं डिनर के लिए बाहर जा रहे हैं, तुमको चाइनीज पसंद है, उसको इटालियन पसंद है, तुम उसको चाइनीज मिलेगा, फिर डिपॉजिट नहीं होगा. Also think of what if likely intentionally or unintentionally you may have made any withdrawal. आपने did you make any promise which you didn't keep or you were discourteous to them. आपने किसी के सामने उनको कुछ बोल दिया जो उनको पसंद नहीं आया. Or what could be withdrawals for them if you have paid attention to this. And also think in terms of how rich or poor you are emotionally. हम लोग पैसे से कितने रिच और पुअर है वो तो हमको सब मालूम है. करोड़, 2 करोड़, 5 करोड़, 10, 15, 20 करोड़, वो तो इजीली पता लग जाता है. बट इमोशनली क्या हम खुश हैं? आर वी ग्रेटफुल? आर वी हैप्पी? आर वी काइंड? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स वी हैव? डू यू हैव पीपल you can reach out to? Are you the person people reach out to when they need something, when they are in difficult times? Do you have your set of 5 people? How happy you are? How sad? Are you feeling? What is your range of emotions that you have? What are the emotions you feel? We did that last time. We discussed about it. What emotions do you feel in a day, in a week? And what is the range of emotions you feel? When it comes to uh, wealth, we talk of gold, silver, foreign currency, shares, land, this, that. But when we come to emotions, are we experiencing all the emotions, happiness, kindness, joy, peace, or it's always frustration, irritation, anger? How rich or poor are we? If there are any insights that is coming up for you, please share. If you are done, please type D. 2 more minutes. 1 more minute. Anybody would like to share? Rosina, Anjana.
Just one thing, like, I mean, among the five, there are, for me at this point of time, 2 to 3 constant or the same stakeholders. But the other two sort of, I put it this way, they are not rotating, but they're very flexible depending on what the situation is, right? I do, like, I mean, at work, it's not one person who is there because you have a whole team. You have various things that impact you in life. So the 3, 4, and 5, I would say are more transitional in nature, depending on what it is and where it is. And actually, it's very simple that, you know, the deposits you make in matters that make a difference to them is where it matters. I mean, like you said, it's just a flower or something like that. And ironically, when you actually look at people that close to you, most of it is not material in nature.
Beautiful, beautiful point, Anjana. It's not about money. This is not at all about money. It is about understanding them and talking their language, talking what they want to hear. You know, if if a person is analytical by nature, and if you're talking to them in terms of pictures, it's a huge withdrawal. उसको समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा आप क्या बोल रहे हो, या कोई राइट ब्रेन है, आप उसको नंबर्स दिखा रहे हो, उसको समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा आप क्या बोल रहे हो. इट्स अ विड्रॉल. सो उसको क्या सुनना है, किस तरह से समझ में आता है, वो भी एक पार्ट है emotional mind. Talking to him in his or her language, which they will understand, is a deposit and withdrawal. Thank you for sharing that, Anjana. Rosina, Sasha, Dhruv.
So I think I agree what just now Anjana shared, but few things recent past. It was my daughter's birthday, and she is a big fan of Virat Kohli. Happens to be, she doesn't play cricket by the way, but she loves to watch every match, even the IPLs going on. So she had her birthday last week. So there is a restaurant called 180 in Pune, that is of Virat Kohli. So as a special moment, I said, let us go to your favorite personalities restaurant today. So that is how sometimes we plan to go somewhere, but just identifying and going there basically. What she likes. My son is trying to learn driving, so I try to take him on the weekends, somehow drive the car basically. Just sitting beside him and giving him that time to do those things. And then one incident, like my daughter completed this Monday her first year of schooling, not schooling, college. So I asked her internship का क्या करना है, so no thoughts were there. So next morning when I was leaving office, I just called her. I gave her 1 or 2 CVs that I got somehow, and I said that look into this and think on this. By evening when I came, she had made her an application and her CV, and then see few things she likes in bakings and all those. She had made a lot of things. And I came at 10 o'clock at night. Somehow I got stuck up in that office in that day. And I thought of taking a rest, but I saw that, okay, she had done so much thing, then let me give her time. At 10:30, I talked to her, and then I said, what next? And yes, the child was looking for self help. Then I pushed that CV and all those things in a group of mine, and that was 11 o'clock at night. And I laughed at her, but she said that where I need to join, kaha milega, main ko aisa karna. I'm like, let somebody, beggars can be choosers. And 8 o'clock in the morning, she had got 3, 4 communication like, okay, you can come to us. Okay. So that is somehow like uh, what happens at what were the child like? Sometimes pushing them also, being a little that way. But again, showing them, okay, when they have done so much thing, even I'm tired, I have to spend that time with them and see that, okay, the results can come. Even when they push themselves, yes, they can also get results. So I'm seeing the both sides. My extended family was having challenge this week, so reaching out to them multiple times on call, even offering them, do I need to come? Tell me. Well, no, you need not come. So it is like making them comfortable in what way I'm available with them or talking to them multiple times. So just on a personal front, I just share.
Yeah.
I like others to speak.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Manojji. We'll take one more share. Anyone? Sasha, Rosina, Dhruv.
Yeah, one thing, in the recent tragedy that happened, my son used to talk to me in Kannada, and I know he could connect only with me while when talking to our mother tongue in Telugu. So he started picking up Telugu, and today we converse with him in Telugu, and we have a better bond today. Not to say that okay, it was not good, but he realized that okay, getting connect to me and my daughter was in the native language.
Very nice. So that was so how did that sorry, I'm not sure if
Yeah,
I
the
got
thread ceremony, I believe. The thread ceremony.
okay. All right.
I think wonderful. I think if you organize Sheshu, I think right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we now move to the next part, which is the mental capacity. And we'll not go too much into details because we've already covered it into the Saraswati part. That's how we started the SLP program with. And we talked about it at the start of our session also. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you will earn, and comes from no less than Warren Buffett. Talking of Warren Buffett, I shared a video, short 1 minute, 2 minute video on how he manages his time. So please watch that. Great insights there. And this another one of my favorite quotes: 5 years from today, you will be the same person you are today, except for the books you read and the people you meet. So we've talked about networking and emotional intelligence. Now it's time to learn. And all of you are part of this systematic learning program that we launched. So you are already a believer in this and doing this. There's another one which I really like, that I don't look at the world in weak or strong, success or failure, but I look at people who are, either learners or non-learners. And all successful people invest in their learning and coaching. That is what it is. Now, what I would like you to do is spend 5 minutes and develop. You might have done this when we did the Saraswati session. So either revisit what you decided then, or make one now in case you're not done earlier. A 30-minute thrice a week mind gym for yourself. And some of the things you could look at is books or articles you will read, uh, or a new idea you will learn and apply at work, or listen to a TED talk, and make it like a gym schedule. So a gym schedule would have cardio on one day, or muscle training on the other day, or it'll have upper body, lower body, stuff like that. So see if you can come up with a schedule for yourself. This is just a suggestion: 30 minutes thrice a week. You could do more if you like. but I think this is the minimum that one should do. And what would it look like for you? Would it be reading a book one day, or reflecting the other day, or learning something new another day? What would it look like to you?
For me, to start with, reading a book.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mana. So make this program for yourself. What would it look like? Is it reading up on regulations or latest developments in your field, new opportunities? So what is coming up for you in this?
So, two, three things are coming up. One is health aspects. I typically watch and do certain things on health through the social media right now, YouTube or something like that, which could include natural therapy kind of things, or simple mind calming activities. So interestingly, I came across something called Akashic Records. If you guys have heard, or any of you have heard about it. So that's something which I'm planning to do. It talks about karma, and so I can go on for it, but that's something which I'm planning for the next 2 to 3 months.
So what I hear you say is you will invest this time on learning about improving your health, becoming more peaceful, and learning about Akashic records.
Correct.
Okay, good. Anyone else?
Increase my yoga schedules basically. I've been keeping
Oh.
it a little away. I do it every day, but still like increase the time. So that takes care of the physical and mental health more.
Okay, okay. Rosina, Anjana, Sasha.
Yeah, so few things actually. Uh, Meditation and spending time for the self. These two things would be part of the mind gym. So which means learning new things once in a month.
Very nice. Very nice. And what would that look like, Sasha, for you? How would you decide that?
So anything that okay, the children love, or anything that is required by the company for the career growth.
Okay. All right. Anybody else would like to share anything that came up for them? All right. Now we
Another
will.
key thing which I do
Yes.
will continue is taking care of plants at least once a month, because that gives a lot of relaxing to the mind.
Taking care of
Plants.
plants. Okay. But how come once a month?
उसमें कटिंग उसको ध्यान देना है, रोज की
Okay,
जरूरत
okay.
नहीं है उसको,
Okay,
इसलिए
okay, okay.
नहीं
उसको
हफ्ते में
फर्टिलाइजर
एक
देना
बार
है।
करना है 2 मिनट,
That is what I was thinking, how come?
क्योंकि उसका you have plant also goes through a natural cycle, right? The leaves dry up. You can't leave it for 3 weeks.
Right now I do it 2 months or 3 months intervals.
All right. Okay, good.
No, I understand it. For 6 months, I was so fed up I gave off all my plants. Now I've gone back collecting plants.
All right, so
So what
make
I
this.
see is just whenever I do it once every 3 or 4 months, it takes me like half a day to do it. And I'm like, यार बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम लग रहा है, but that's where I enjoy it. उसको पूरा खाद, repotting जो भी करना है वो
Okay, good. Thank you. Now we move to the last part, and which is what Dr. Abhishek was mentioning earlier about the spiritual capacity. And this spiritual is possibly more misunderstood than understood. And last time we were having a chat, Anjana mentioned about religion and spirituality. So religion is not spirituality. Spirituality, to my mind, is something different. And there are 2-3 different ways we will look at it. And the way I understand it best is by looking at nature or connecting with nature. Whenever we look at nature and the laws of nature, um, it's very powerful. So if we look at law of nature like cause and effect, as you sow, shall you reap. Or if you look at nature, it is always giving. And as human beings, are we givers or takers? Or what is it that we can give without expecting anything in return? And nature is always been giving so abundantly, yet it is not impoverished, right? We are about 8 billion people on the planet Earth, but there is still enough oxygen for everybody. And also look at how non-judgmentally the nature gives. So if you're standing or sitting under a tree, the tree would give you its fruits irrespective of the caste or color or nationality or gender or whatever else you may be. It just gives and it doesn't ask for anything in return. So that, to my mind, is what being spiritual is. Being like nature, being giving, being non-judgmental. And that is what comes up for me as spirituality. And we don't get impoverished by giving or by being like that. And on the contrary, we get more abundant, as we give up judgments about people. Because whenever we are judging ourselves or other people, we are in a low energy state. And also when you look at the nature, everything in nature is so blessed, so divine. Or if you talk in terms of flowers, a marigold is not comparing itself to bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is not comparing itself to rose. And rose is not comparing itself to parijat. And parijat is not comparing itself to mogra. Everybody resplendent in their own beauty, in their own happiness. Um, mango not comparing itself with chiku not comparing itself with grapes, and nobody comparing, just being the way they are. And that's such a powerful way to be. Just enjoy and cherish who we are and how others are rather than comparing, imagine a chiku saying, why can't be a mango? And grape saying, why I can't be like a pumpkin, or, so on and so forth. So that and I think that is why we love being with nature. It's so peaceful being with plants, and everybody, on weekends, everybody is rushing to, a hill station to be in the greenery, to be with the nature, or, some other place around us to be with the nature. It's so refreshing because you're not being judged. Everybody is happy. Uh, and we connect with a deeper sense of ourselves. So that, to my mind, is spirituality. And I'll pause here to see what are your thoughts on this before we dive into other dimensions. Yes.
Sorry. There are a couple of things for us to be balanced and focused, right? Nature plays a huge role. So you could say it's spiritual or it's whatever it is, okay? But it's the world that is supporting you to do it. We talk about in terms of spirituality, we talk about grounding ourselves, we talk about neutralizing the negative charges or increasing the positivity within us, however you want to phrase it. And one of the things that we look at is that I think a lot of times we disconnect ourselves from the nature or the universe around on a daily basis because you're so focused on, the rat race of doing something and running somewhere and doing something. Like you said, 30 minutes for 3 days a week is something that you need to do. If there is a principle, a habit, or a thing created saying that, okay, 5 minutes twice a day, then this is more towards your own self-recharge. When you're recharged, when your mind is calm and peaceful, right? That's where you could look at, saying that you're able to perform optimally. Spiritualism is nothing but connecting with things around and being in balance and sync, is my perspective.
Yeah.
Uh,
Beautiful. Yeah.
and also that, the law has certain tendencies that which are the elements. You just have three elements. You have water, land, and the sky or the earth, right? Three elements that primarily act as your grounding or your stabilizing factor. So which one do you most easily connect to, subconsciously or consciously? You tend to gravitate to those things that when you're very unbalanced or when you're seeking for something. So if you say we're rushing off on weekends to find some peace or stability, we go to a place where we feel most calm when we return. It could be a water body, it could be mountains, it could be just somewhere. So yes, we need to understand what works for us. And when problems are really large, or it looms up really large in front of us, seeking such avenues to instantly and recharge yourself pretty fast is always a good thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Anu. Anybody else would like to share? Does this resonate with you? Looking at nature and understanding, or if you have any different take on spirituality than what I just shared. So that is my take on spirituality. Looking at nature and taking over lessons from nature. And we'll bring the session towards a close now by talking about this musical instrument, which has got 4 strings. And if these strings are not finely tuned, even one of the strings is not finely tuned, it will create very poor music. And in our case, the 4 strings are physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. If any one of these 4 dimensions is not properly tuned, then our life will be out of balance and will create a very poor music in our lives. So if we want our life to be melodious, harmonious, good relationships, prosperity, happiness, joy, success, it is very important to walk on all the four strings, four dimensions of our life. Depending on our current situation, it could be more or less, but ideally we should walk towards having, equal importance, so to say, for all. And Dr. Stephen Covey says in his book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, that minimum 1 hour per day should be dedicated to sharpening the saw, sharpening the axe, which is the four dimension exercise. So simplistically speaking, 15 minutes exercise, 15 minutes reading, 15 minutes into emotional balance, whether it is journaling or EBA, making a deposit into EBA, and 15 minutes of mindfulness practice or connecting with nature. 1 hour minimum a day can be very transformative. And once we do this, our life gets into an upward, a virtuous spiral, and it keeps getting better and better every day in every way. There is no two ways about this. And this is what I urge each one of you to do starting from today. If it's not 1 hour, start with 15 minutes and gradually increase it to 30, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and keep increasing. And our next program will be on magical success rituals, where I'll be sharing what are my magical success rituals and what are the, how much time I spend and how I landed up doing all of that. But the point is, make a start, make a beginning with what you have. And we'll close by sharing that this is what we discussed today, that our body is the Mooladhar. It's at the base of everything that we do. So prioritize your health, diet, rest, invest in your relationships to be able to thrive. This is Durga. Invest in your learning, Saraswati, and be like nature. Be a giver, accept people as they are, including yourselves, be non-judgmental. On that note, we will bring the session to a close today and spend 3 minutes recapping what we have discussed and what are your takeaways. What is it that you will start doing differently from today? And then we'll invite everybody to share and then bring the session to a close. I'm happy to take any questions, comments after your reflection.
Ashish, I think
Yes.
what we discussed, think this team or these people in this group, we are a little bit aware of this, one way or other, and that's why you are there. Only thing, it doesn't happen. Okay, like we start with something, we see the value, but sometimes we fall in the pit and it gets discontinued because something more, I'm not saying important, something else takes it away. So sustaining the practices or sustaining what we want to do is always a challenge that at least I myself feel. Yes, by in work also we have success by doing something we see there, but when it comes to personal life, sometimes it doesn't happen. We start with doing something initiative on our own, and one thing or other, it's not blaming someone else, but it just doesn't happen sometimes. So
There are two things I would like to share on that, Manoj. One is a 2-minute rule that I shared about earlier, that once you start doing something, commit to doing it even if for 2 minutes daily. Okay. If we talk about these 4 practices, starting with physical, if it is say exercise, if you're not feeling like going for a walk or going for a gym or going for a yoga, just do a 2-minute stretch or just wear your shoes and do spot running. But do that, on a continuous basis. It is very underestimated, but power of consistency is brilliant, and this 2 minutes rule is magical. So, when it comes to starting any practice on a day, you have a challenge, you're traveling, you have a very busy schedule or whatever else, just do it for 2 minutes. So brain gets the signal that this is important and this is something that needs to be done. And then, otherwise what happens is once we get off the habit, then it takes weeks, sometimes it takes months to get back. Sometimes we completely dropped off it. But this 2-minute rule is very powerful to keep us on track. That is one.
Okay.
And second is just pick it up next time when you realize you've dropped it off and start again. It's all about getting up and getting started again. It's resilience. So, like they say, you haven't failed till you quit trying. So as long as you're getting back up and starting it again, I think it means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking that, Manoj.
And I can connect now during our yoga session. It is like said, like you are traveling in a train or a flight, and the time is as such that you are not able to do those practices. So they say visualize it. Close your eyes. Just visualize that as if you are doing it in physical form.
Yeah. Close your eyes, just do deep breathing while you're waiting, even in the
No,
plane.
you do the same thing. Like
Ah.
even the yoga postures you do
Ah,
while
ah, ah.
visualizing. Like close your eyes and as if you
Yeah.
are doing, say you are in a flight, you are not having that space to do something.
Yeah.
So how you do a physical forms, you just close your eyes and visualize as if you are doing the steps. You follow all the steps of doing that. And now I can
Very
relate, the sustainability is the core or essence of that.
Yeah.
In fact, there was an experiment, Manoj, what you mentioned, where it was said that few people did, it was weight trainings and muscle building. So some people were given the weights, trained, and others were asked to imagine that they are doing weight training. People who imagined also gained muscle mass. So it's our mind. If you fool the mind, can call it fooling the mind. Some people say everything is Maya, so it is all whatever we are seeing and experiencing is anyway fooling our mind. So as long as you can do it religiously with tools, without tools, it would show the difference. And doing it 2 minutes a day, yes. Some things which I've started doing 2 minutes a day or 3 minutes a day definitely helps. Just to give you an example, आशीष जी has told me कि LinkedIn पे लिखो and I have been trying it and करूंगा कुछ करूंगा LinkedIn पे regularly करना है, हो ही नहीं पा रहा था, आइडिया आते थे लेकिन आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रहा था. Then me and a friend of mine who stays in the same complex, they said okay, let's do every day 15-minute discussion on AI. कई बार होता था, कई बार नहीं होता था, लेकिन वो हफ्ते में 2 या 3 बार डेफिनेटली हो जाता था. And that started forming that routine. और कुछ नहीं तो वो 1 मिनट कॉल होता था, यार आज नहीं करते हैं. So that 1 minute or 2 minute thing used to happen, forcing the mind to start doing it in that direction. और वो thought process उस तरह से बनता है. Now I'm like for the last 4 weeks or 6 weeks I have been regular in it. मेरे पास अभी next 5 weeks का डेटा बना हुआ है and I'm scheduling it. बस मेरे को LinkedIn में क्या पोस्ट करना है वो मैं शेड्यूल करूंगा, वर्ड में बना हुआ है और आई एम जस्ट शेड्यूलिंग इट.
Very
वही मैं
nice.
रिलीजियसली हर हफ्ते पोस्ट करूं.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank. Yeah, it's another way to look at it is having an accountability partner, somebody you can chat up. And what I also liked was even if you're not having a call, just speak that we're not going to have a call. That makes it conscious rather than just slipping off. That was another thing interesting. So we will finish by wrapping up. Anybody would like to share their takeaways from the session today? Quick 1 or 2 minute takeaways or any queries you may have or comments. Takeaways, queries, comments.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll just-
Sanjana.
all of this has been, being reiterated in all the learnings that we've had in terms of consistency, doing it. And what has actually come up most frequently in the recent past, like, in the last 1-2 sessions and with another session, is that do it even for 2 minutes, like Dhruva said. If not the entire schedule, like, don't be very aspirational saying that I will do it for 1 hour, but start with 2 minutes. It's just bring your mind and attention to that particular topic. So you're creating a particular pathway of calling attention to something you want attended to. So at some point of time, it'll become natural to do it. Today we are like, if I exercise, I have 10 things. First one is I have half an hour, I can't watch TV. Second is my body will start. I mean, I have every excuse not to do it. But if I start doing it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes every day, the resistance of a story building in your mind disappears.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So yeah, I mean, that's something that has come up and definitely is something that I want to do. Forget if I can complete it or not. Today's thought process, just finish it irrespective of what the quality is.
True. Thank you for sharing that, Anjana. And whom would you like to invite next?
I'll invite Dhruva. He looks very impatient. He started moving around. Or I don't know if he's doing his 2 minute thing.
Yes, I have like I have to do my steps daily, and I'm like put my mobile in my pocket and walking so that I can be moving rather than sitting. The key thing for me is see, I'm not a very relationship kind of person. Cut to task, do this, do this. These are the 5 steps. Do it, finish it off. And when I'm reflecting on it, is what is holding me back is probably the relationship. A few weeks back, myself and Anjana discussed. Anjana gave me some very good ideas about how do I build or influence my super boss, who has not yet come up. But I was like, these are some basic things. Why didn't it even occur to me? And today you mentioned, Ashish, you mentioned about what are the emotional deposits and withdrawals you're doing. And I'm like, I need to start thinking. Yes, I am a very analytical kind of person. I need to, even this emotion aspect, if I do start it with an analytical approach, it is fine, but it would start becoming a habit. Once it becomes a habit, and it happens naturally.
Yeah.
And that's something which I will consciously do. So that's a key takeaway for me from today.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Dhruv. And whom would you like to invite next?
Manoj Nair.
Thanks, Dhruva. So, Ashish, very interesting and powerful session as usual today. So, for me, the two key things would be about the emotional uh, bank account. While we are aware and we know that, but reiterating that definitely helps a lot. And the second thing is about to get a mind gym routine. So a few of the things I have already started implementing with regard to the 2 minutes of routine of anything which I was procrastinating for a long time, not getting into a routine. There was no consistency, so definitely that's helping me. So now this mind gym routine, definitely I can make up a schedule, and that will definitely help me more.
All right. Thank you, Manoj. And whom would you like to invite next?
Rosina?
So while we are waiting for Rosina to come up, I would like to remind that our next
Yeah,
session, yeah, Rosina, just give me a minute. Our next session on Sunday will be the last session in Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program, and we will finish with a 5-minute presentation or talk by each one on what worked for you on this journey. It's also nearly 6 months of our being on the systematic learning path. What are the things you've learned, how it has impacted you for the better? Were there any challenges you faced? How are you better off being on this journey compared to what it was with you earlier? So that is what we'll be covering in the next session. Now over to you, Rosina.
Yeah, the session today was an eye opener for me, especially when Dr. Abhishek spoke about the timing of the sleep and everything. So, like, I'll be focusing more towards that, giving body proper rest because I sleep a lot, but the timings are not that proper. And yes, yeah, focus on my exercise, and certainly I'll look on the emotional charts and work on that as well. So that was my takeaway from this session. Thank
Thank
you.
you. And whom would you like to invite next, Rosina?
I would invite Shasha.
Thanks, Rosina. Uh, so emotional connect and emotional bank account. Though it's the second time I've been hearing, but yeah, implementing that bit by bit is helping me connect with the people. That's one good takeaway that I have. The other one is especially on the mind gym. Though we know that okay, we want to do or inculcate in our daily activities, spending half an hour separately will definitely help us.
Thank you, Sasha. And whom would you like to invite next?
Yeah, Anjana.
We have Manoj.
Oh.
Thanks, Shesha, but good to know you want to hear me again.
Pardon?
Is Manoj Agarwal now.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Sesha is actually not aware what happened.
Or Shesha didn't think I was sharing my thoughts at. He must be thinking this girl either ways is always talking, so let me call her.
I love that the girl thinks like.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wonderful. Okay, I think sharpening and sharpening the X. So when it was coming earlier, it was always on the knowledge aspect on work side. Today, the thought remains is like the resources. So that is one piece like what we normally work on the technical skills. Normally, when we see how to be enrich our work or something, we think on enriching ourselves on the technical side, gaining more knowledge on that. But today, when I in this session, I understood the resources. That is one piece only. The rest is more of relationship building, and where you say the main 5 stakeholder exercise is also very important. And how do we take care of that? And when we do take care, I think we have to do our own task of doing a homework every day, and be it the mental exercise that we do or other things, and be thoughtful of when we are doing something or when we are in the relationship. It is not like what I like, but what others like. So and then start with few minutes to go to 60 minutes. So that is few of the nuggets I pick up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Manoj. Thank you, everybody, for being with us on this journey. Have a wonderful weekend, and we connect next Sunday with hearing from you on your journey so far with BTL and with SLP at 8:45 a.m. 8th of June. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ashish. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Ciao.